Typinator comes with an iOS companion app for iPhone and iPad. It gives you access to your full sets on mobile, meaning you can use your abbreviations directly in any app. And the sets synchronize automatically via iCloud between Mac and iOS. The Typinator works as a custom keyboard on iOS. Before you can use it, two permissions are required in your keyboard settings. You need to enable the Typinator keyboard and enable Allow Full Access. Without full access, the keyboard cannot expand snippets. So I'll tap Open Keyboard Settings here, and this takes me directly to the right place in iOS settings. Then I'll tap on Keyboards, and in here I just need to flick the toggle for Typinator, and then I need to allow full access. And with this pop-up, you get an explanation as to why that full access is required. So take some time to read through this and then tap Allow. And this means that Typinator is now able to run on your iOS device. As you can see right now, we don't have any sets in our iOS app. And that's because I need to enable synchronization on the Mac version first of all. So I'm going to go into Settings, and I'm in the Sync and Mobile section here. I need this top checkbox, iCloud and Mobile Sync. And it won't take long for the sets to appear on the iPhone here. And here they are. Now this is an exact replica of the sets and the layout that I have set up in macOS. I can see on the Mac all 11 of my date and timestamp snippets. And then if I tap on that set on iOS, I can see them all listed in here. Then I'll tap to come back. Now, as said, the iOS companion app is a replica of the Mac version. So if I click on this set and then drag it to reorder, I'm just going to wait a short while and then pull down on the iOS screen to force a synchronization. And we can see the replace text set there has moved. So if I was to disable that set in macOS, once more, I'm going to wait a short while and then swipe down to sync. And we can see a cross there indicating this set is not active for use. I do want to use this set later in the video though, so I'm going to re-enable this. Then I'm going to swipe down on my phone and it's back, ready for use later. So how do we use Typinator Mobile? Well, it's so simple. Here we have an email response to a customer that I would like to add my signature to. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to long press on the globe. And all of my available keyboards are listed, so I'll select Typinator. And my Typinator keyboard is now active. And you'll always know that because you'll see the word Typinator on the spacebar. I'll start typing my abbreviation for the signature. So the first letter is X, and then I want an S, I, and then G. And you can see I have two expansions available to me that start with the abbreviation XSIG. So I'll tap on one of those, and it's inserted into my email draft there. Much quicker than typing for sure. Here we have another email draft where I need to enter my address information. Well, I've got an abbreviation that I can type in for that as well. With the Typinator keyboard active, I'll type in X, then me, because I always set those three letters as the prefix for any personal information. Then I'll type in ADD for address. I've got one result available there, so I'll tap, and there is my address printed out. I have abbreviations for my phone number, email addresses, even my VAT registration number. Lots of information that I usually fill out on iOS by typing is now replaced with Typinator. Typinator can help in so many situations that involve typing plain text. So if you have links to various social media sites that you want to share, you can print those out using Typinator. My abbreviation here starts XSM for social media. Then I can see three of the results here. So I'll tap the Facebook one, press return, and then go again. This time I'll tap the LinkedIn one in the middle. And then we have the Mastodon one on the far right. So simple. Do you ever find yourself frustrated with Safari on iOS when you need to enter your email address and the operating system decides to enter the wrong one? Well, whilst Typinator won't stop it from doing that, as long as you have your email addresses stored in a Typinator set, you can clear the address that iOS put in there, start typing your abbreviation, then come down and choose the actual email address you'd like to use. It can make the process of signing up to things like newsletters or making purchases where you have to validate your email address much quicker. Typinator Mobile can carry out date calculations for you just as it can on macOS. You can see on the Mac I've got two options here for displaying the date in 14 days time. So the first one with the abbreviation XDT14, that shows it in a short date format, whereas the second one, which I've abbreviated the same but I've added an L on the end for long, this shows a more friendly version of the name that's more suited to this email that I'm sending on iOS. Now I can see I don't have the Typinator keyboard active, so I'll come down to the globe and select it. And then I'll type in XDT14. And I can see the two options. And this is great because I can see a preview of how it will look and what that actual date is. I'll select the more friendly one on the right, and the date is inserted. So for date calculations, you're covered on Typinator Mobile. As the majority of prompts that you will use with AI services are based on plain text, it makes perfect sense to use an application like Typinator Mobile to quickly insert prompts that you use repeatedly. In this example on the iPhone, I've got an article on AI that looks quite detailed and I'd like to have it condensed into some headlines. Well, over in Typinator on the Mac, we can see I've got a prompt that does just that. So I'm going to select all of this text here from the article and copy it to the clipboard. Then I'll switch across to ChatGPT, and with my Typinator keyboard active, I'm going to start typing in the abbreviation for the AI prompt. And there it is. I'm going to tap, and the prompt is added. And now all I need to do is paste in the text and tap return. So ChatGPT is doing its thing. And at the bottom here, we can see those headlines have been produced. So that was much easier using Typinator to add the prompt. We can make it easier still though. So in that last example, we manually pasted in the text. The Typinator keyboard, however, can use the contents of your clipboard and directly paste that in. You just need to tell it to. So on macOS here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that AI headline prompt that I have. And I'm just going to add the letters CL here to the end. That stands for clipboard in the abbreviation. Now, in the expansion down here, I don't need this word text to be printed out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace it with the clipboard text. So I'll come to Smart Element here, then clipboard, then text from clipboard. So back in the Typinator mobile app, I just need to check that that has synchronized across. And yep, there it is. So here in Notes, I'm going to copy all of this text once more. And then in ChatGPT, with the Typinator keyboard active, I'm going to type in my abbreviation. And we can see there are two options for me now. But because I can read those abbreviations there quite easily, I know which one I need to tap. I'll allow the paste operation. And that was so quick. Everything I need is in there. So I'm going to run the prompt. And I've got my result. So if you have detailed prompts or even short, snappy ones that you use often, use Typinator Mobile to make it easier to run them when you're on the go. Using Typinator Mobile, it's possible to use expansions that place the cursor in a dedicated position once the expansion has completed. Here we have a customer service email that's going to be sent, and I need to add their name into the greeting. So on macOS here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to the greeting here, and then just put a space in. Then I'm going to come over to Smart Element, down here to Control, and then across to Cursor Position. Moving forward, you can use the Command and equal sign to do the same thing. I can see the cursor position syntax is there. Now I'm going to switch to the Typinator keyboard here on iOS, start typing in my abbreviation, and then tap the result. So all of the text has expanded, but where is my cursor? And I can see it here at the top, ready for me to type in the name. And while I'm here, I'm going to come down to the bottom, and I'm going to type in an abbreviation for a signature. There we are. There is no excuse to spend ages on email communications anymore with Typinator. Replacing text and formatting it into a different case like uppercase, lowercase, or capitals, well, this functionality is extended to Typinator Mobile as well. So here we can see a built-in function that's been created on macOS that will take any text that has been added to the clipboard and convert it so that the first letter in each word is capitalized. What I'm going to do on iOS is get this text onto the clipboard first. I'll type in my abbreviation. So XCAPI is enough there to show me what I need. Then I'll tap. I'll allow the paste operation, and that text has cleaned up nicely. And it is now formatted well for a headline. As well as formatting text, you can replace predefined text as well using the replace built-in function. So here we have a note where the word Wi-Fi is not in the correct format in several places here, and I want that replaced with the correct one. Again, on macOS, we have an expansion here that is going to do just that. It looks for the word Wi-Fi in lowercase and then replaces it. And we have a video on setting this up in the help section of our website, so please check that out. On iOS, I need to select all of that text again. Going to cut it, start typing my abbreviation, then I'll tap, allow the paste operation, and now we have the correct spelling of Wi-Fi throughout my document. It's not restricted to macOS. You can replace text with Typinator Mobile too. If you need a keyboard with a different language, you're covered too. Tap on the settings cog, then tap on keyboard, and then in here we need languages. So you can scroll for the language that you need, but it may be quicker to just tap on search and then search for the one that you want. So let's look for German. I think I'll add German, Austria there. And let's search for another. So let's go for Spanish. I'll just tap to add that. And then, of course, I need to have English. And if I swipe up here, I can find English United Kingdom there. Now, if I come up to the top, I can see the 3 languages are listed. And that means that if I tap on the keyboard, just to the right of the spacebar, you see the 2-digit identifier for your language. So I have EN for English. And if I long press on this, I can change to another. So German, Austria there. We see has our letters with umlauts in, and we've got letters in a different location on the keyboard than my normal UK one. And we can see our Spanish layout. And then I'm going to put it back into English. And to close off, if you come up and tap on Edit, you can delete languages here, or you can reorder them to your liking.